Who amongst us has a post-Ramadan dip? If you ask most people, they'll say, I get to a certain level during Ramadan. I get to this high level during the month of Ramadan. And then after Ramadan, I get this post-Ramadan dip. Now, what ends up happening is we go into the month of Ramadan, we pray, we fast, we read Quran, we do all these different things, and then Ramadan ends. And then we rinse off all of the different actions, all the different habits we created during the month of Ramadan, and then we repeat. So it's basically Ramadan, rinse, and repeat. Now, what ends up happening? For a lot of us, we just go with the flow. So, there's more activities in the masajid, we're going with the flow. But then some of us who want to get more out of Ramadan and we understand, hey, we need to actually be goal-oriented. We need to set objectives for ourselves. They will make a goal or action list. And then once that's completed at the end of Ramadan, what happens next? Now what? Your Iman. You get a Iman boost during the month of Ramadan, especially in those last 10 nights of Ramadan. You end up getting that Iman boost. Ramadan ends. Now what? You're avoiding haram. So during the month of Ramadan, you avoid more things that are haram and maybe certain bad habits that you used to have. So you avoid those things. Ramadan ends. Now what? So this reminds me of, certain colleagues that I have, certain people that I came up with as students who went into certain professional faculties. And man, these people worked so hard, man. They worked, I know some particular people, they worked very, very hard to get into a professional faculty. And their hopes and their dreams were tied into attaining this position to get into that professional school, whatever it may be. Once they got into that professional school, many of these students, many of these people that I knew personally, they went into a state of depression. They went into depression. And some of them even afterwards, so even after they graduated that professional school, they were in a state of depression. And some of the depression was actually pretty bad. It went into certain places where it was very, very dark for them. And there's people that I know that even went to the level of self-harm. Okay, so we're talking about addiction. We're talking about many things that can cause you self-harm. So what happened? What happened to these people? They attained that goal. And once they attained that goal, it's as if they lost their purpose. They put all their stock in climbing and struggling so hard to attain that goal. But once it happened, they didn't know what to do with it after. It wasn't there wasn't a sustained payoff that they were looking for. Now, in Ramadan, why can't we sustain the habits after Ramadan? So during the month of Ramadan, we're able to enjoy a lot of different habits. We're able to do a lot of different good things. As we mentioned, we're going to the masajid. We're doing all of these blessed things, praiseworthy things. But how come we can't sustain it after Ramadan, or we can't get similar peaks? Why is it afterwards people will indulge in more haram? Isn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala watching you the same way He was watching you during the month of Ramadan?
Do I feel that the New York police are providing enough protection, or do I have to have protection of my own? I look for protection from Allah.